Yo, Genie here, and as you can see, we are back on F1 22 as always, and this time returning to our Hotlap and setup series. Apologies, there's been a little bit of delay from the previous tracks. Quite honestly, it's just been so hot in the UK, it's been pretty unbearable to play the game, especially when you've got a lot of PCs and equipment in your room. It turns to about 200 degrees, it feels like. And yeah, so we are here at the Paul Ricard circuit at France, which is actually upcoming this weekend. And this lap here was actually done on Xbox because my league racing season for BRS starts this weekend with the pre-season race on Saturday night 8 PM. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested in that. And yeah, this setup for this track is very different to everyone else on the leaderboard. The purpose of this setup is not to be the fastest over a lap. It's to be the fastest in the race. And you will see that by the downforce levels and just the setup in general. It is very much focused on traction and straight line speed. You lose a fair amount in the corners, but I've been testing this online, and around this circuit you really do need the straight line speed, but also a lot of ERS in play. So people above me, such as FR Elite in this first sector, you can see we lose quite a bit of time here, but in the second sector and third sector we do gain a little bit back. But in a race situation, now, as I said before, TT isn't super realistic because you have unlimited amount of ERS, you have no tyre wear, no tyre temperatures. But in a race situation, you lose the ERS, and with a higher downforce setup, you really are going to be on the back foot quickly. And with this one here, we are just so much faster in a straight line. So the goal was not to set the fastest time in the time trial here. If I wanted to do that, I would be using a higher downforce setup. But as always, I try and make setups that are going to be the best for the race itself. And when I've been using this online in 25% and 5 lappers as well, it has been superior overall compared to the higher downforce. So that's why I've gone in this direction. And yeah, I think it's going to be much, much better. Since you can start on medium tyres anyway on this game, not on the softs. Yeah, it's as long as you can keep within the DRS, and even if you can't, with a lower downforce setup, you just save so much more of the battery. But you can see this up here, we still did a 29.2 with this, which I was very, very happy with, and just over 3/10 off the fastest. But this setup is not designed to be the fastest over a lap. So let's go ahead and break it down. So as we go into turn 1, between these two curves, so when the track turns to tarmac, that's when you want to think about starting to slow the car down. So as we go through into here, try and take as much curb as possible. So you really have to cut this corner as much as you can within the track limits. And then this one, you want to take about just under half of the curb. So you don't really want to mount this one. You just want to kind of kiss it. Use all the track on the exit. Now coming down through into section, this is where the setup is going to suffer a little bit, but I used the 100 meter board as a reference. So as I pass that, you want to try and cut this corner as much as you can. And now we have done it here, but you could go even further over to the right, because that's going to allow you to carry a lot of momentum into the left. Absolutely crucial that you hook your wheel on the inside of the lower portion of the curb, because it will drag you around very nicely. Try and stay as far left as you can. Try to do a very light apex into here, and you want to be basically just kissing this corner, so not mounting it on the inside. Once you go past this here, you want to be using all the track, but still just constantly turning into this right-hander. Want to get as close as you can without mounting this curb. So you can take a bit more curb, but as close as you can to the white line, use all of the track on the exit. And then coming through into here, make sure you use all of the track as well, because it will minimize the distance of the track. With this setup now, this is where it comes into strength. in a straight line. So we actually gain some time back through this middle sector. Coming towards the end of this straight, I used the 100-meter board and this curb, kind of like the turn one again. So as I pass this, that's where I start to think about braking. Want to be taking as much curb as you can, and we pretty much did that perfectly. So including the sausage curb, you want to take as much of it as possible. And you'll see with my setup, it allows you to take a lot of curbs as well. And pretty similar to this one, make sure you hook your inner wheel on the lower portion of the curb, because it will drag you round. And coming through here, you want to be getting your wheel as straight as possible. So you have to use this curb on the exit to avoid turning too much. And then going down through into here, you can see in the middle sector, we have gained a bit of the time back, and you will be gaining time all the way in a straight line here. And coming into this corner, it would be using the 50-meter board as your reference point. Coming into here, you want to be getting as close as you can to this white line. So you really want to be attacking it as tight as possible. Use all the track on the exit. Get really tight to the curb at the inside here. Use all the track at the exit once again. And then very much similar for this one. So would be having pretty much all four wheels on the blue stuff to maximize the track. And as you come through to this one, making sure you don't hit this inside curb. You just want to get as close as you can to the white line. Otherwise it will spit you out. Use all the track on this exit, and you can see, very important once again, as you go through this long right-hander, you want to be hooking the wheel on the inside, because that will really help with stability. As the curb finishes, so the red and white part finishes and the blue part starts, that is your turning in point for the penultimate corner. Well, I kind of ignore the first part, but then making sure you stay super tight throughout the duration of this corner. Use all the track on the left, and that is going to be a turning in point, so pretty much a wheel's width away from the edge of the track. Coming into here, making sure you don't kiss this curb on the inside. You want to get as close as you can to the white line, otherwise it will disrupt the car. And then on the exit, make sure you avoid this curb on the outside, just so you can get the maximum traction. Make sure you're getting the DRS, and that is a 129.2, which, as I said, this setup is very much focused on the race, and when there's ERS at play and you're losing the ERS, this really comes into strength, and you don't lose too much during the corners as well. So let's have a look at the setup. 12.9 wings. Everyone else around me was using 21.17. You can see the differential, right, left. 1.1 on the suspension, so a softer suspension. It's going to make it the best over the curbs, best over the traction. You can see the rest of the setup here. So this is very much designed for straight line speed, traction, and the ability to ride curbs as well, which is going to help with your tyre wear. And as I said, in a race situation, a league racing situation, I feel this is much more superior over the higher downforce setup. So I really hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully you're not melting away somewhere like we are in the UK here, and you enjoy the Grand Prix on the weekend. I will be getting up, or we'll be getting out, more Hotlap and setup videos once it cools down a little bit more. But hopefully you'll find this useful. Please subscribe for more Hotlap and setups, more tutorials, and more F1 league racing content. Thank you so much for the support of the channel, and I'll be catching you very, very soon. Peace.